Hi everyone. In the very opening verses of this week's Torah portion, Vayigash, we find Judah is addressing the Egyptian viceroy, who he has no idea is really his brother Joseph, and he's asking him to release his youngest brother Benjamin, who that very viceroy is holding in captivity. The Yishbitzer Rabbi, Rabbi Mordechai Yosef Leiner, who lived in Poland a bit under 200 years ago, said that when Judah was speaking at that moment, he's really speaking to God also. And he's asking God for help. Many note the terms he uses, Avdecha, I am your servant, Adoni, you're my master, are terms we indeed use when we address God. And what is he asking? He's asking for compassion. Obviously have compassion for Benjamin, but have compassion for my ailing elderly father. Have compassion for me, because I promised my ailing elderly father that I would bring his youngest son back to him. I was the guarantor. But an Egyptian cruel viceroy, as we've seen in these last chapters, could care less about having compassion. So on a deeper level, there is another layer here that he is addressing God. And this is true many times in life. When we are facing difficulties, hardships, and we meet our adversary, and we're speaking and we're pleading to them, we're really in that moment also talking to God. Many note that the term Vayigash, which introduces this whole discussion, is a term of prayer. Hagasha means to pray. And that in that moment, Judah is really praying to God also, while he's talking to Joseph. And when we speak to our adversary, our opponent, in a very difficult situation, our real feelings at that moment are prayer-like. And of course, what happens, as soon as Judah completes his remarks, Joseph immediately says to them, "This is me. I am Joseph, your brother, Ani Yosef." And the Ishbitzer Rebbe says the same thing will happen in the end of times, when God will reveal himself to us, and he'll say, "Ani Hashem, this is me, God. And I was there with all your difficulties and all your hardships." Just like the brothers, in a second, felt so good and realized they had no problem really at any point in this period that looked so difficult to them, we too will feel that all the difficulties we had throughout history were not real, because the consciousness of that moment will be so high. But the question is, how do we get from here to there? There's a very fascinating story told that Rabbi Melech of Lejinsk, when the Jewish people had great difficulty, one time prayed so intensely that he managed to reach his long-departed master, the Maggid of Mazrich. He said to Master, "This is such a difficult time for the Jewish people. You have to intercede and help them." And the Maggid said, "There's no problem. It's all good." He said, "Master, people are suffering so badly. How could you say that?" He says, "Where I am, all I see is good." He said, "So what should I do? Should I not scream and pray?" He says, "No, if it hurts, you scream, you pray, you do everything you can to make it better, but know that it will get better." And that's really the message here of what faith really is amid difficulty, amid hardship, to believe that in the end it will get better. And that's the fuel that keeps us going to the end. We're going through hard times right now. And may God bless us to quickly see the good times. But the message here is to know that whatever adversary, whatever challenge we meet, God is there with us. And to know and to keep our faith that it will get better. May we all be blessed quickly to live in happier, better times.